Hey guys, welcome to Live with Muryd and April. This is week 3, so we're super excited about the questions that we have today. Some are more difficult than others, but we are excited to answer them, and hopefully it will help someone who is watching this. So, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes, that was doing it. All right, go ahead. Ready?
I like your hat, by the way.
Thank you. Rocking the bucket hat today.
That's good. All right. So this one is kind of a difficult one. My spouse is always sending money to his or her family against my wishes. They call them for money all the time, and it's given to them without making sure our own household is taken care of. It's putting a strain on our relationship. Am I wrong for having a problem with this? So I don't think they're wrong because it's affecting their home. But I will say that I think it starts with the communication. Like, if this person is just holding all this in and building up bitterness on the inside of them, that's not healthy.
Yeah. I think they definitely have a conversation about it, especially since it's putting the strain on their own household. You know, it's one thing to want to be generous and be helpful. But, you know, maintaining your own home is, one of your first priorities. So that's tough there.
Yeah, I would say definitely have the conversation with your spouse, but do it in a way in love, like not critiquing or being upset, like recognizing that the heart is there to help. And I think that's okay to help, but also just expressing that as you guys, as a couple, are helping others, you want to work together to help your own family be in the best position that you can possibly be in.
Yeah.
So
I think it's good that you said that, because you're not against helping people.
Yeah.
But, how we do it, let's be wise.
Yeah.
So.
But I think definitely have the conversation. You don't want this to build up, because that's what the enemy wants to do, is just keep creating this animosity, and it can just snowball into something bigger. So I think having the honest, open communication is very, very critical. So
try not to use the phrase, we need to talk. It's not a good opener. That no.
Okay, yeah. Well, so how do you even start?
Hey babe, how are you doing? Yeah. Can I ask you something real quick? Maybe that's better.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue to the next question, because someone wants to know. They said, I need to have a difficult conversation with someone. How do I even start? So I think how you start, I'm glad that you recognize that how you start is important. But I think it depends on the relationship you have with the person too. Because if you know the person very well, then I think you can, you maybe start a little more relaxed. I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I think, before you even get to the conversation, my question would be, how is your heart about the conversation? Mm-hmm. I think having a good heart about it, I think really starts it off the right way. And then really, what are you trying to what is the outcome that you deserve? Are you just trying to air some grievances, or are you trying to you're looking for a solution? Because that helps you to prepare for how you start the conversation.
Yeah, I think that's huge. That's a good point, because you definitely want to have a solution. I would think if you're having a difficult conversation, why have the conversation if at the end of the conversation you aren't making steps towards some kind of resolution?
Yeah. Well, there's some conflicts that you can only manage. Like, you can't completely eliminate it, but maybe you can figure out solutions to ease the tension to some degree.
Yeah. I think coming with the right attitude is basically. So how do you start? You start with a positive attitude, and you start with some goals in mind for maybe what you want to look like. I would say.
I think in a difficult conversation, recognize that feelings are real, so you really can't deny the other person's feelings or their perception, be it right or wrong. That's how they perceive whatever the situation is. So acknowledging that, I think is okay. You may have, I feel this way because. Or I understand you might feel that way based on what you saw, just different things. So.
Yeah, I think that's good. Definitely acknowledging that both parties are going to have some kind of emotions around the situation, and be mindful of that and respectful at the same time. So, all right. How do I keep an open line of communication with my teenager? This is important because we're about to have a teenager.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Sad.
Woo. So I think what's the problem?
It's just sad.
It's gonna be alright.
I know.
Okay, it's gonna be alright. I'm usually the one that's all like, oh, the kids. I'm surprised here. But anyway, I think first of all, you have to have these lines open way before they become teenagers, I would say. Because I think the stronger your relationship is with your child, then I think it's more natural for those lines of communication to stay open. I mean, I could be misspeaking because I don't have a teenager yet, but we have worked with teenagers, and I do know in our experience, the better the relationship you have with them, the more open the communication is.
Yeah, I think you got to choose your battles. You know, if you blow up over them, quote unquote, not finishing their homework, it's gonna be hard for them to talk to you about something that's they consider, deep. And one thing I would say that your child may not tell you everything. I mean, at the end of the day, as a teenager, they're not going to tell you everything. And the hope is that you have them in some type of right relationships with people that they can talk to if they can't talk to you all the time as mom or the dad. So
yeah, definitely shout out to Point Youth leaders, because I'm so thankful that my daughter has other people speaking into her life, saying what I'm saying. I know that's huge, so thank you so much. I would say also along those same lines, when they tell you something that's a little bit out there, don't overreact or try not to look shocked. I know I say
poker face.
Yeah. I say a lot.
Face. It's a song.
Okay.
It's a song, Poker Face.
I wear a lot of emotions on my face, so wait a minute.
That lip, when she get that lip quivering.
Oh my gosh! Please.
She mad.
Stop.
Okay, what she say?
Stop.
Okay.
Okay. Like if
Zoe give away.
If Zoe tells me something like that happened at school, and on the inside I'm like, oh my goodness, I just try to keep a straight face, like, oh, okay. Really? Because I don't want her to ever think my mom's gonna flip out if I tell her this. So that's something that you can do as well. Just try not to overreact when they tell you something. So, okay, last question. What do you do if you and your spouse have different views on parenting and discipline methods? Ooh, that's hard, because when you discipline, consistency is like key. So if you are disciplining one way and your spouse is another way, how do you be consistent?
You got to come up with a plan that works for both of y'all.
You do. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're going to have to come up with a plan that both of you guys can adhere to. Because it can't be one person to discipline there. And you can't say, when your mama get home, I'm going to tell her, I'm going to tell your mama. No, you need a dad. You need to stick with whatever the procedure is for discipline and do it. So
yeah, I think that's a good point, coming up with a plan. So you may think one way and your spouse thinks another way. Talk and find somewhere in the middle that you both can agree on, because it's just going to make your life a lot easier. We had
a kid, I ain't gonna say no names, one of our children, that there was oftentimes April and I would have to call a timeout in the huddle, like us two together, like, hey, this is the play. Anytime this person does this, we're gonna do that every single time. We had to call some plays on this kid.
We did.
Still calling some plays.
Yeah.
We in the middle of a play right now.
Bless her.
You can't give it away.
Oh, I didn't.
Just say bless them.
Okay. Bless them. So yeah, definitely you got to have a united front. It's definitely, and then we also, regardless, like if one parent says yes or no, then both parents say yes or no. Like they can't say, oh, if mom says no, I'm just gonna go ask dad.
And that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try you.
Yeah.
If they can get you to disagree with each other openly, then they'll get you.
That's huge.
So sometimes if you may disagree on something, maybe you guys should just call a timeout and say, hey, let me go talk to mom about it, and then you come out again as a united front. Because if kids see any kind of division, they're smart.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're like animals, like a lion or something. They seeking parents in whom they might devour. I think that's found in 3 Thessalonians.
Stop. Kids are not animals. Okay.
Tasmanian. No, I ain't gonna say that. No. Angels.
Okay, it's time for us to go.
I need a snack.
I'm kind of hungry too.
Okay.
Thank y'all for listening, and comment below if you have any feedback or other questions about anything we talked about. Next week will be our last week, so it's been a fun month. Oh, my birthday is this week. So the first the first episode, I asked you guys for gift help from Muryd, like suggestions. So if you want to comment below some gift ideas for him to really hook me up this year for my birthday.
I need 40 candles.
Why do you need 40 candles? No, don't even go there because I'm not turning 40.
Okay.
Yes. But when I do, it's going to be awesome. But not yet. So anyway, birthday ideas. Please, guys, help. He needs help. He needs his community to rally around him and help him make his wife's birthday awesome.
Yes.
Okay. See you guys.